Hello and welcome. It is 9 o'clock. It is the second day of December. I am wearing my ugly Christmas sweater. I don't have an ugly Christmas sweater, but I have an ugly shirt. And of course, I've got my hat. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM, with another OGGM adventure. It's time for what's going on in the gaming world. Yes, gaming news. Okay, so let's go to the big stories. There is a game coming out on Roll20 called Zeitgeist for 5e. It's an adventure path, a steampunky adventure path done by EN Publishing. So it's a campaign setting. Steam and soot darkens the skies above the city of Flint. So that is now available on Roll20. I suppose you can also get the regular print Zeitgeist adventure path from EN Publishing. I like adventure paths. I like the idea of, small little 20, 30 page adventures that tell a continuing story from first to whatever, let's say 15th level. Some of them are amazingly written. Others not so much. Obviously Kingmaker and Giant Slayer from Paizo are probably Kingmaker's probably one of the best. Giant Slayer. There's a couple others. Then there's this, adventure paths that just completely make no sense. Episode 1, oh, blah, blah, blah. Episode 2, oh, blah, blah, blah. Episode 3, well, now let's completely change the script. Wait, what? Why am I suddenly in the Old West? So, yeah, some of them don't make sense. If you're into changing up things in D&D and maybe getting a little more steampunky and you want to support 5e, check it out. Let's see. News on the Dune adventure role-playing game. It's coming from, coming from Morpheus, it looks like. So it looks like it's going to be a 2D20. So Morpheus works on his own, and he works with the people who do Free League. So he's got the 2D20 system, which is most famous for being the Conan role-playing game. Most recent release, and he looks like he is doing Dune. So congratulations on getting this license, sir. Let's see what you can do with the amazingly bizarre world of Dune. And yes, we have heard there's a new Dune movie coming out. So we'll see. It's got Jason Momoa in it. So, okay, what else is going on? Another convention has gone online. Morpheus himself is now sponsoring his first online convention, ModCon 2020. It'll be doing stuff like Star Trek, Alien, Vampire, the Corrales, and of course Mutant Muse Zero, Tales from the Loop, as well as non-Morpheus games like Pathfinder, D&D, etc., etc., etc. That will be available online through Dragon Meet December 4th at 7 p.m. More news on Tasha's, but I promised I wasn't going to talk about Tasha anymore, so I'm not. Obviously, there are still more complaints about Tasha's. I discussed this with somebody recently, and, I hate to... I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I hate to defend Wizards of the Coast, but it really chaps my hide that after all the bullshit, and Wizards of the Coast saying exactly, black and white, this is what's going to be in the book, and then exactly doing what they said they were going to do, people are still upset. And I know they're saying because the diversity isn't diverse enough, but knowing 5e players, really what they're most upset about is, well, we thought it was going to be more broken. It is not broken enough. Because all the comments I saw the night before was things like, oh, I'm going to make some weird shit, and I'm going to totally break my DM's game with these changes. And now it's like, well, the changes aren't what we thought they were, so really, it's not as broken as we thought it was. So I think that all this bullshit is really just people saying, we wanted more ways to splat, break, min-max D&D, and you didn't give it to us. So, really. Let's see. Meanwhile, we have another update from Level Up, the advanced rule system based on the 5e rules from, again, EN Publishing. EN Publishing is really trying to take advantage of the disenfranchisement in the 5e public, and good for them. They have been pushing this Level Up system as their version of 5e, looking at all the things people said they want and truly addressing them as opposed to the haphazard way Wizards of the Coast did. So it'll be interesting to see how Level Up finally plays out. A new virtual tabletop system has been joining the increasing list of gaming ed websites with Owlbell Rodeo. Owlbell Rodeo is looking to fill the niche of more stripped-down online experiences. So if you're looking for another virtual tabletop system, check out Owlbell Rodeo. I mean, just the name alone is cool. Okay, WizKid announces 2 massive miniature sets coming next year. The first is the Yawning Portal Tavern. I'm looking at a picture of it now, and wow, this looks like some amazing Lego Playmobil 3D play set with a working yacht portal. And I don't know if the winch works, but it's got a little winch. You know, I'll probably just post a picture of this, or you could go to the WizKids website and look at this. It's obviously it looks like it's a assembly required, so it looks like sort of one of those 3D Lego cardboard. Just wow! I mean, it's got stairs. Just wow! I mean, I'd never use it unless I was running a Yawning Portal game, but wow! If I had space, I'd get this just because it looks cool. They've also got another giant red dragon figure coming out for the Icons on the Realm line. I don't know what the Icon adult red dragon is different than the regular red dragon. Anybody remember the $100 adult red dragon figure? That was a great red dragon figure. So yeah, no pictures of this one though, but it's a red dragon. So got another adventure from Star Trek Adventures Klingon Empire. Now has a Game Master Toolkit as well as the Star Trek Adventures Klingon. Say that 5 times fast. Star Trek Adventures Klingon Empire adventure and the Star Trek Adventures Klingon Empire Game Master Toolkit. Both Mofetus again. Wow, this guy's really just kicking ass. Humble Bumble this week is still a maps we've got a maps extravaganza going on. We've got stuff from City Designer, Dungeon Designer, Campaign Cartographer, sets and instructional booklets for making maps for Humble. That will anything donated to that will go to Save the Children. We've got another Humble Bumble running again. Mofetus is doing another Conan one on Humble Bumble. 18 books plus 30% off coupon for the hardback of all the books for the Conan thing. This bundle benefits world builders. And then we have the Arts of Solian OG Cyberpunk Humble Bumble on Humble Bumble. This goes to, amongst other things, financing the Kickstarter for the new Cyberpunk role-playing game. And a lot of great stuff for Cyberpunk 2020. And that goes to support the Able Gamers charity, which is a charity that brings gaming and appropriate gaming stuff to people who have special needs. As somebody who wrote stuff for Cyberpunk 2020 and loved Cyberpunk 2020 for about 3 years, get that one. Let's see. That's about anything else going on in gaming news. I mean, that isn't Mofetus. Wow, it just seems to be your week, sir. There's a pop. Oh yeah, more. If you haven't checked out the Kickstarter for the Upzone pop-up wargaming and RPG terrain system, check it out. This is a brilliant idea that I can't believe somebody didn't come up with sooner. It's basically a pop-up book kind of thing. So if you're familiar with pop-up book, you open them and it becomes whatever. The thing comes up and there's like a thingy and maybe there's things you can move. Like, oh, look, here's the mountain, here's the moon, here's the cat, whatever. So they did the same thing, but they did it with D&D terrain. So it's like a thing, two pieces of cardboard, like a book. When you open it, it's a castle or a pyramid or a mountain, 3D pop-up book style things, and there's little things you can add that click in like trees and stuff. I mean, it's a great idea. I don't know how long those things would last because it's cardboard, and if anybody ever owned a pop-up book, pop-up books last for like a week at best before they're just taken apart and fall. But it's a great idea. Okay, so not much else going on in gaming news. So let's check what was published this week. Anything? So the following games saw publishing: Cyberpunk Red is supposedly out there. And they have a third-party adventure for Starfinder, too. So Cyberpunk Red core rulebook from Artisolian using the interlock system, of which we know I was a huge fan of, is out for $50 if you can find it. It's hardcover. Hardback. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see. Legendary Planet, The Deaths of Desperation is a softcover adventure from Starfinder out from Legendary Games. We have a new Journal of the Traveler's Aid Society from Mongoose Publishing. Volume number 5 was put out this week. We have a game called God Forsaken from Monty Cook for the Cypher system. It's a fantasy game with for the Cypher system. Monty Cook, we know I've talked about him before. Great ideas, very little follow through. I mean, like, what the fuck ever happened to Poultice or Arcana Unearthed or Iron Kingdoms? The Elephant and the Macabre banner is a player's guide PDF to Porcupine Publishing's role-playing game, 16th Century Brazil role-playing game. So they've got that coming out. A punk apocalyptic RPG from Shadow. It's a modified version of Shadow of the Demon Lord. It's its own independent system. It's a post-apocalypse world with, I guess it's punk because they use death, breasts, and the F-bomb in post-apocalyptic world. Stop using punk. Okay, somebody should pass a law. You cannot use punk anymore to sell a product. There's no such thing as diesel punk, super punk, Jedi punk, stabler punk, sandwich punk, or apocalypse punk. Stop using that word. There's a Trachea, one of the very weird OSR 5e games that has come out from the OSR movement. It has got a supplement out called So You've Been Thrown Down a Well. For the Spire system, a magic book has come out. That's $10. So if you're using the Spire system and want to see how magic works in that game, I have no idea what it is. They've got a book out. There's a new tabletop role-playing game called Free Spacer from Random Alien. This is a contemporary science fiction tabletop role-playing game. We have... That came out this week. We have something from Nerdy Pup Games called Curse of the House of Rockwood. This is a gothic alternate history type role-playing game. And that's pretty much everything that has come out this week for publishing. So yeah, not a lot of news going on in gaming other than this is Yogcast Jingle Jam is going on, which is what you hear in the background. So if you want to watch a bunch of nerds who've been influencing the industry for 10 plus years play games for 2 weeks for charity, go check out Yogcast Jingle Jam. I'm watching it right now. I'm watching them play Colony Survival badly. But it's got all my favorite YouTubers on it. And I've always been a big fan of Yogcast, especially this time of year. It's nice to see something good and fun and wholesome and for charity during all the craziness that is this year. And as said, any money I make this month through the Patreon or through the PayPal, if you send me any money, that money will go directly to Yogcast Jingle Jam, donated in the name of Primetime Sports Camp. So if you're feeling generous and want to celebrate the hobbies and support your Witcher, toss me a grumpy coin. I will have some DLC content keys available hopefully tomorrow or later today, because I did donate some money to the Yogcast, so I should be getting the bundle, and half the bundle is DLC keys for games I don't have, like Among Us. So I'll be giving those away somehow as part of my attempt to get more subs. So if that's something that interests you, subscribe if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, and help me hit 300 subs by the end of the year. And I will toss you some free DLC crap. I'll talk to you holiday humbugs later.